You can make a difference. By becoming a supporter of our channel, you not only help us thrive, but also become an active part of our community. The link to join us is in the description. Did you stop to think about it? That sometimes life is not working. It is because you don't even know exactly what you need. Sometimes we get so distressed, and we don't know why. It was missing to reach the key point. It was missing to discover the neural dial point there, where the conflict is actually starting. Patience, right? We have no patience even to find out what is distressing us. Science is an inner movement that makes us. I believe she has the power to make us realize life, the delicacies of time. Because without patience, we can risk not realizing what really deserves to be perceived. Dive into the heart of patience. Perceive the rarity of life. This is so beautiful in us when we are aware of realizing what is rare in life. Sometimes our hurried eyes do not lead us to the heart of this rarity. My people, sometimes we are so negligent in the perception of this that sometimes we waste a month, a year, 10, putting our commitment to a reality that was not even for that moment. And that's why it's so interesting to develop the ability to say no and to say yes. That this is a skill that only maturity brings us. That sometimes, because we are immature, we don't even know how to say no. We don't know how to look at the urgencies of time. So we live to please the other. No. Before you please the other, you need to realize what life is asking you. Because not always what you can do to please the other, is in line with what life is asking for you. Even if we grow up, we have to have the courage to cut many things. Many times we kill our lives or kill the opportunity to live well because we are not able to read the right reading of what time is asking us. Because it's anyway. Each day the time will ask us something. And is this attentive look that we are giving us this condition, this clarity of realizing what today screams by my name? What do you really call me today? What is the reality today that is unavoidable? It is interesting because sometimes our way of living deprives us even of this perception. We are very strange to us. It's not strange to the other, no. It's strange to ourselves. Strange to ourselves. Sacred scripture says, time to kill, time to make birth. It all depends on the keen perception we need to have to look at the present moment and find out what really deserves our commitment. How many times have I, in my life, worked in the wrong place? In the wrong question, and then there is no way to be happy. There is no way I can find a contentment knowing that my commitment was not where I should have committed myself. There is no possibility that I feel fulfilled. To feel good about my choices. Because what's going to do with which I feel good is to look at the context of my choices and be comfortable with what was chosen. There are times when life itself shows you the need to cry, to throw out their excesses, not to be afraid of sadness, to allow this sadness to fall within us in their riches, and to help us find the precious stone that only suffering could lead us to know. Then comes the laughter. Laughter is not born by chance. The smile is the result of the tear cried. And it's good, you know why? That as we are spending the parang knowing that it will be constructive, little smiles are born throughout this process. When we talk about a final smile, it is just the metaphor of a well-done, well-lived process that sometimes we are without soul. The body needs soul. Yes, I need to support my life. I need to mean my subject. I need to put soul in all that I am, even in the house where I live. I always leave the house, and now I stayed 17 days away from home. And life has taught me that the house is not a cluster of walls. The house is a feeling that occurs to me. It is not just a material construction known, and how we realize that we don't love each other when we identify in our way of living and being behaviors that denounce that we no longer take care of in life. That we made wrong choices and we didn't make much effort to change. that we went to sleep with the waste every day, and that we made our hearts a wasteland where all the trash in the world was deposited. The small part of the commandment is the challenge. It is very easy for you to move the other's life. The easiest thing you have, sometimes when we go to a date, right? You keep listening to the preacher talking, my God. But Comadre Geraldo had to be here, people. But that's all Comadre Geraldo needed to hear, guys. It is not. Still hits, you see? Wow, you were there. Here comes Comadre Geraldo, Benedita, and such, right? No, I don't want to know what your neighbor needs, my word, no. No. And not even you who are at home saw, calling her comadre for her to watch. No, I'm not a little worried about what you... Not. I don't want to know how much you pray. I don't want to know how much you are going to Mass. It doesn't care today. Love to God. We will speak at another time. The first night of this camp is neither for the first nor for the second question. It's the midfielder. This is what can go unnoticed. Because sometimes we think the commandment, it will be well fulfilled if we love God and the other. Yeah, I know. Because the quality of these two loves depends so much that you are cultivated. Oh no, Dad makes me quiet. I'm doing my charity here. Do the charity for you first. The first one in need of charity in this life is you. It's me. It's the moment when we look at ourselves. It is the moment when we gather. It is the moment when we take care of each other. It is the moment when we love each other. Because that is where God is acting in the ability he has to erect. To make him happen. And then, your neighbor will benefit from the human being who is gradually being worked on by the strength of the love that God manifests in you. And the whole family thanks you after you love yourself. And your friends will thank you because you love yourself. And your neighbors will thank you because you love yourself. And the sky will be partying because you love yourself. Because where there is a realized human being, God will be revealed. Look at a happy human being and you can say, he is among us through this creature here. How many times, my people, how many times have you experienced desolation in your heart? And you haven't been able to love anyone. It is amazing how much the unloving. Wow. This unloving that destroys us. How much that he disables us to look intelligently at God and people, isn't it? How much your contempt for yourself makes you a person 80. How much your contempt for yourself makes it unpalatable with the other. Go to live with a person who doesn't like to see what it is. Go to live with a person who despises himself all the time for you to see what it is like. Go to live. Then you talk, I'm already living, priest. So act. Do we need to convert to this? We need to find out of joy, the satisfaction that there is what we are, even with the defects we have. It's wonderful for us to look at us and think, my God, how many things today do I have? How many wonderful things today can happen in my life? And I don't have the right to neglect this? Is it God who looks at me and you today? Mira, because God aims. It's a lot of people, but he aims. Is my conversation with you? Are you the one I want? And you? Ready? Is it yourself? Do you know what I want to do in your life? May you, yes. So that then the other two forms of love are natural in you. Otherwise, you will have to make too much effort. It is not necessary. When love hits us, everything is lighter. Do you work? From the fro. Do you get damage? He takes, but you take happy. Because you will experience the fun of giving to another what you give yourself. If you are able to be merciful to you, will you be able to be merciful to another too?
As we conclude this spiritual exploration on Path of Faith, we invite you to engage with us by leaving your comments, liking this video, sharing it with others, and subscribing to our channel for regular doses of uplifting messages.